The eschatological map detailed in the Great Jafr outlines a sweeping outward projection of power. The Mahdi's initial campaigns cross the Levant, push into the heart of Rome, and breach the walls of Constantinople. But the momentum of this physical conquest eventually fades into darkness. The movement reaches its climax away from the battlefield, shifting into a theological culmination that follows the securing of territory. To understand the architecture of this final stage, we have to look away from the advancing armies and focus inward. We must look to a concealed group of companions, cultivated in the shadows of a prolonged occultation. These hidden operatives share a singular trajectory. Their inward journey ultimately materializes at Beit el-Maqdis, Jerusalem, aligning directly with the descent of Jesus. A military campaign can dismantle a corrupt state, but it cannot forge a utopia. Sustaining a perfectly just world order requires an incorruptible vanguard of spiritually perfected individuals to anchor it. The primary source texts reveal that this vanguard is forged through spiritual desolation. Imam Ali describes the era of the Mahdi's concealment as a period of intense theological confusion for his followers. He states, "The Qaim from among us will have a long occultation. It is as if I see the Shia roaming like cattle, seeking pasture but not finding it." The core trial of this era is internal. The believer must endure the grueling length of the Imam's absence without their heart hardening or their faith to erode under the weight of sustained silence. For the minority who maintain their ideological clarity through this era, the texts outline a specific divine compensation. They will stand alongside Amir al-Mu'minin himself, sharing his rank on the day of resurrection. The agonizing length of the occultation serves a distinct structural purpose. It acts as a deliberate divine filter, designed to burn away the wavering and isolate only the most uncompromising believers for the final movement. In Naj al-Balagha, Imam Ali assigns a highly specific term to these steadfast survivors, the Nalma. The term defines a believer who is obscure and unnoticed by society. The hadiths outline their demographic composition. The companions of the Mahdi are strikingly young. Old men among them are described as being as rare as coal in the eye and salt in food. Their existence is a societal paradox. Imam Ali calls them the lamps of guidance and the banners of night journeys. Yet if they are present, no one recognizes them, and if they are absent, no one misses them. Al-Numani's Al-Ghaiba expands on this necessary isolation. When asked to define the Nalma, Imam Ali states clearly, "The one who knows the people, but the people do not know him." The texts provide an exact scriptural parallel. They function like Prophet Joseph during his time in Egypt. He recognized his brothers, while they remained entirely oblivious to his identity. True spiritual capacity in the end times requires zero public validation. It is rooted in hidden certainty, maintained silently in the face of widespread tyranny and societal collapse. To understand the mechanics of this hidden recognition, the texts offer a distinct historical archetype. Returning from fighting the secessionists at Nahrawan, Imam Ali halted his army at Baratha, near the banks of the Tigris River. A Christian monk named Al-Habab observed the approaching forces from his cell. Upon speaking with Ali, the monk instantly recognized his divine authority and succession. Al-Habab had no physical familiarity with Ali. His insight was esoteric, drawn from the prophecies and descriptions preserved by his own scholars and rabbis. This spiritual alignment yields a physical manifestation. When Al-Habab explains that all local wells run salty, Imam Ali extracts a massive rock from the earth, causing a miraculous spring, sweeter than honey, to gush forth. Ali then delivers a highly detailed prophecy to Al-Habab concerning the future of the region, the rise of a nearby city of tyrants, Baghdad, the eventual blocking of the local mosque, widespread drought, and a terrifying destructive siege led by the Sufyoni. Al-Habab is the historical template for the Nauma. He possesses the spiritual clarity required to identify divine authority through ancient texts, remaining anchored in truth, even as trials like pieces of the dark night enclose the region. This hidden vanguard eventually moves from concealment to overt action. The Mahdi and his companions drive westward from Kufa, converging on their final theological destination, Beit al-Maqdis, or Jerusalem. The Sermon of al-Bayan details the exact setting. It is a Friday. The Mahdi steps forward to lead the massive army in prayer. In that exact hour, Jesus, the Son of Mary, descends from the sky. The texts describe him wearing 2 red garments, his hair appearing as if anointed with oil, bearing the likeness of Prophet Abraham. A deeply specific theological exchange occurs. Jesus greets the Mahdi with glad tidings of victory. The Mahdi steps back, inviting the Spirit of Allah to step forward and lead the prayer. Jesus issues an emphatic refusal. He declares, "Rather, the prayer is established for you, O son of the daughter of the messenger of Allah." Jesus immediately assumes his operational role. He calls the Adhan, prays as a follower behind the Mahdi, and takes command as a deputy over the army, eventually tracking and melting the one-eyed Dajjal at the pass of Harsha. Jesus praying behind the Mahdi unifies Abrahamic monotheism. This act validates the centuries of silent endurance by the Nama, proving their hidden theology on a global scale. Following this alignment, the Mahdi possesses the expanses of the earth for 40 years. The texts explicitly state that the world is entirely purged of impurity, adultery, usury, and falsehood. This justice manifests physically in the environment. Lifespans lengthen. A single measure of sown wheat yields 100-fold. Trees bear fruit twice every year, and the natural enmity of predators ceases, allowing sheep to graze safely alongside wolves. The eschatological timeline concludes. The Mahdi passes away and is buried by Jesus in Medina, near the grave of the prophet. Shortly after, the angel of death takes the soul of Jesus, followed sequentially by Al-Qidra and the remaining supporters of the vanguard. The military conquests across the Levant and Rome cleared the physical path, but the true architecture of Imam Ali's vision in the Great Jafr lies in the spiritual infrastructure of the Nauma, their silent endurance, culminating in the theological alignment with Jesus, provides the foundation